It's me, it's Blango. Um, Today's video is a deck that I can't make because it uses Azrael as king, but we're gonna do what we can. So this is a balls deck. Yeah, that's his username. That's who you ping if you have problems with this deck. I don't have Azrael, so no king. The card is a card with stats, and it explodes Undying or Demon or something. It makes them explode. Yeah. I'm sorry. I have the card. I don't have the card. I have seen the card like once ever. I bet if we went to get cards, uh, we have enough for a pack. It's in the Nightmare pack. Sort by rarity. Okay. It has 31 or 37 HP. It's like the most expensive card in the game. If it kills a card, then it moves again, which is pretty cool, but it's a side jump card, so it's basically Raiden, but more expensive, and with 25 attack, so that's kind of excessive. Um, Excuse me. It can explode your own demon and attack all surrounding cards. Um, so I actually didn't think about this, but it might actually get to move after exploding and killing with a demon, so that's pretty cool. It has 15 attacks, so that's also pretty cool. And it is obviously a demon card. So that's what we're looking at. This was the only Azrael deck, probably because like 3 people in the entire game have Azrael. But okay, now we know what to look out for. It's weak, but it's good. He's running Wraithblade for some forsaken reason. I assume it's because you don't care about the health on your units. You're just gonna explode them anyways. It's not good on the king necessarily, but 25 up to 31 is pretty good. I don't know. It's puttable on the king, especially if you're gonna go like boom, 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 right? It's kind of like having Raiden as king. So Miracle Mage because you can heal anything that has a Wraithblade on it. I assume. I don't. I don't like that at all. I think that this. We'll see. Barrier I think is necessary in this deck. 2 is fine. I think 3 is also fine. Ezreal doesn't have a lot of health, so he needs it. No offensive or terrain utility. Burial. It's, I assume he's running like an Undying Demon. Yep, it's just Undying Demons. So yeah, this is a deck that I've actually more or less made in my head, and it's like the new version of Demons used to have this deck called, or Undying used to have this deck called Trigger Happy, where you would play Crypt King and you would kill Explosion with the King, and then that would allow you to, it would be Undying, so then that would allow you to resurrect it, and then if it was resurrected, you could like make a chain of decaying mummies, resurrect it, boom it, and then it kills your enemy, and then you can like do it again by resurrecting your decaying mummies. And just make this chain and then go boom. So that's what's going on here. This is just trigger happy. Necromancer, same idea. Vampire Lord. I assume this is the one that's adding Undying to the type. And then Desire's Guardian. Okay, now I'm confused. What? We read Azrael together, wasn't it? Just demons? Because there are no demons here. If I sort by type, they're just all Undying. I don't know what any of these cards are doing here. How is he getting mana? How is he getting Desire's Guardian? Did he run this deck? Are we sure? What am I missing? If it was discard, then Desire's Guardian would be like, okay, maybe you can somehow, like, no, you can't resurrect it. I guess he's paying for it with Wraithblade. Wow. And so, I guess the Wraithblade does go on Azrael. Because it's technically Azrael's attack when it explodes, I think. So, he's gonna send in, like, Decaying Mummies. But then you can't blow them up because they're not demons, right? Did I misread? I don't even know if I can... Oh, man. Oh, I didn't save that deck. Shoot. I don't even... We'll see. Maybe I'll just open my pack and call it a video. Alright, sort by rarity. Explode your own demon. Demon. Oh my god, okay. I see what's happening. Holy. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought, though. Alright, alright, alright. This is actually what... This is trigger happy. So he's running Wraithblade. Oh man. He's running Miracle Mage. 1. That's going away, by the way. He's running Barrier. He's running Burial. Oh man, I can't spell. Wait, he's running Illusionist. Apparently I can't type. Decaying Mummy. Necro, Vamplord. And Desire's Guardian. Okay, so he's still just paying for it with Wraithblade. Holy cow. Okay. So, I got a tip for you. If you want to get constant mana from things dying, you get a little bit less, but you don't have to constantly take damage. If you just get this card called Soul Collector, plus you'll be making mana from all of these guys. So, sure, you're not buffing your attack of... I assume it buffs the attack of the explosions, which would make it, like, instead of a 15 explosion, like a 21 explosion, which is probably why you did Wraithblade. And I get it, but you have like 32 health, right? So I'm not feeling it. I think it's just better to just play Trigger. Like, Trigger Happy did not need more damage. What Trigger Happy needed was to actually get to its combo. So if you're relying on like being able to get Wraithblade and a healer and be next to the healer, like that's just too much. I really do think that this is already better, whatever I've changed. Oh, I added Soul Collector. Cool. I also don't know that, like, my problem with Desire's Guardian as not king is that now you need mana. And so you're going to have to click the mana button a bunch, or you're going to have to get a lot of mana, right? To keep it going. And unless your deck is just making excessive amounts of mana, then it's just not going to be worth it, because you're going to lose 16 mana per turn. Now, if you're playing with Soul Collectors and they're undying so you can resurrect them, we can make that happen. You're going to get mana. Um, Especially if you're going to be just exploding your own Decaying Mummies or whatever. We can make that work. Um, this Illusionist is whack. I can see it. Like, it's kind of cool. It's a way to move as well as it's an awesome card to explode. But it's also not, because if you're going to resurrect an Illusionist, it's going to shuffle your king and you might just end up next to your opponent and then you're screwed, right? So, I don't know about the Illusionist, to be honest. I'd probably remove it. I also don't know about the Vamplord. I guess it's more resurrects. And you can technically take a card like Illusionist and hit it with your Azrael, and then hit it with your Vamp Lord, and then all of a sudden it's both, and then you can resurrect it and whatever. But I would much rather, like much rather, play. Where's the card? Where's the card? Oh wait, do I not have it? I guess I don't. Wait, really? Yeah, I don't. Okay, well I'd much rather play Luminous Wraith. That's what that's called. Um, it's like zero cost, hit your opponent for 9 damage. It's awesome. And yeah, that um, you don't have to hit it with a Vamp Lord. I don't even know that you should run Vamp Lord. It costs mana, and mana's kind of not easy to come by. I think you would like just go with basically like what Trigger Happy was. You can run 3 barrier, and then I like the idea of Undying, but you can also run Call of the Night. I guess you can't run, eh? Because your king's not Undying. That's kind of whack. You can still run like Skeleton Warrior. I think that's a fine card. It's like 6 attack, so 3 of them is an 18 attack drop. It's not bad. They're cards to blow up. They all resurrect at the same time, and then you can blow them all up because you have chain attack too. I think you can also choose Lesser Vampire for that slot. I just think that it's cool to have a zero cost card, even though I guess you do have a lot. Yeah, if you're running, I don't think you need that many resurrects. Hmm. I guess with no, because you can't resurrect for free, right? Yeah. Okay, so at this point, yeah, you're looking at probably like cards like Sludge or Wings. Um, actually, you've only got one slot, right? So yeah, stuff like that. I'm sure there's other cards that I can't think of right now. You need stuff to blow up though, so like Skeleton Warrior type cards, Luminous Wraith, because you don't really want to be blowing up your Decaying Mummy. You can, but Skeleton Warrior is a good one to blow up, in my opinion. Because even if you don't hit every Skeleton Warrior, then each Skeleton Warrior will summon one that you can blow up. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Azrael, but I think this deck would work. I'm trying to see if there's like something I didn't notice. I mean, you could just run a third Necro if you wanted. Drop Desire's Guardian if you wanted. But I don't mind the idea of using your extra mana. You could even put a second big mana card like Desires or Zera, Taurus Dragon. Taurus Dragon's a demon, so you can blow it up. But obviously you can't turn it back into a card. What kind of demons are we looking at? Or you could even... I don't know. I think I would probably just, yeah, take a card that costs something. You can run Gamester. I think it's a little bit slow, but not too bad, because you can, well, I guess it's not that slow, it's free. Like, it's free tempo-wise. Or Shenlong. Shenlong's another, like, basically an explosion, right? It just moves. Or some sort of finisher like Deep Space or against Sludge. Those would be cool cards. So yeah, I think I'm gonna recommend those. I think Slaughter's overpriced. Yeah. Although, again, it's a finisher you could use. But yeah, these are the cards that I'm going to recommend. Um, yeah. That's probably the way that I would say you should probably build this deck. I mean, you could also run Queen of Thorns. They both die pretty easily, but I don't know. You could increase the slots on like Skeleton Warrior-esque cards with Luminous Wraith and Skeleton Warrior. But overall, I think this is more or less what you want to be running with maybe a different top end, especially if you've got Desires. Desires can eat up as much mana as you need, so really just one is fine. And you can just add like a Luminous Wraith. You could go 2/2 with Skeleton Luminous Wraith, or you could go just 3/1. Obviously, the Skeleton Warrior would turn into the one that eats. I guess I'll just search. Um, that would be an interesting card actually. Or is it really bad? I think technically Azrael is killing the Lost One when it explodes it. Which, well, if it kills it, which is a way to get single, which is in some cases good. So I don't know, maybe that's something we can work with. It'll be cool to see the Lost One used offensively in a deck, in the sense that like you want to be the one to kill it so you can get single move, because you're sick of having diagonal or whatever you have, right? Something that's somehow worse. It'll be neat to see like worse movement patterns, like boat or X. Well, yeah, like boat. Boat is, for those of you who don't play like chess or four-way chess, I should say, it's where like you're a Shock Leviathan and you can go to Death from Beyond, Dream Drake, Flame Lord, and Lava Wave. Only those four cards, or only those four spots. And yeah, it's a card. It's like a weaker bishop. And obviously those are jumps, so they're okay. But it will be really cool, and I'm actually gonna go request this on the Discord. If you could like kill Lost One and then actually improve your movement. So yeah, it'd be cool to see a demon like that. Anyways, that was not about your deck. My opinions on your deck I've already kind of said. It's okay. Um, Not the way I would have built it. I do see the advantage of, say, having Wraithblade. I like doing big damages in one turn too, but if like that's like a if you've heard of like the Johnny Spike, all that, that's a very Johnny way to play. Or maybe that's actually a Timmy way to play. Yeah, that's a very Timmy way to play. It's kind of overkill. Um, if you're gonna play like a Spike, which is what tournaments are for, then it'll look something a little bit more like this, I think. Meta, do I think this will fit into the meta? I think that there will always be Timmys who want to pull off the Wraithblade combo. I think there will always be players who open as an Azrael and say, I want to build a deck with him as the king. And then they do this because this is the best way to do it. Do I think that it's going to be the most powerful deck? No. I think that with good play, it can do fairly well, though. I just think that it's kind of slow, and Azrael is kind of weak. And I also think that potentially it needs more mana cards because it might just be, I don't know, hard to say. Soul Collector might be too slow. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, that's more or less what I'm saying. I think it's a neat deck. I just think that it's probably not going to be like super super competitive, right? And like super super competitive, I mean like it'll probably be tier 3, right? Tier 1 wins all the tournaments, or yeah, wins all the tournaments, comes second, is feels like very difficult or unbeatable to beat. I guess arguably that could be like Dark Deal right now, Bog Dweller. I'm gonna make a whole video on this. I'm not gonna talk too much about tiers right now, but this deck is like tier 3. Cool. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.